Scanlines are cringe, agreed. I can turn on scanline. Oh no, what did I do? Yeah, here's the gross scanlines. Okay, this is like super strong scanlines though. Still? It doesn't look like it. Oh wait, that was awful. Okay, hold on. It doesn't look as bad on my screen as it did for you guys. Alright, but yeah, scanlines are bad. No. Alright, I'm not gonna mess with anything else. Oh yeah, it's probably M Classic. Yeah, M Classic probably does not like scanlines. Imagine paying 200 for an HDMI Wii, then slap artificial scanlines on it. I know. I will never understand the appeal of scanlines. It actually kind of sucks that I'm not running SRM anymore, because now I can add perfect notch turns into all my setups. Okay, if I do this properly. It's still like slightly risky. If/when I go back to SRM. No, SRM is good. SRM Hundo is literally the best category. Or at least it was. And it could still be if people would actually route it. SRM's gonna be a while probably. Yeah, no one seems interested in routing Hundo SRM right now. I mean, I'm interested, but like, I want to go back to no SRM right now. There's no way I'd go back to SRM Hundo unless other people were also gonna help with routing, because there's no way I could route it myself. I just hope that SRM Hundo isn't super degenerate, because there's still a chance it could be super degenerate and not interesting at all. But there's also a chance it could just be the old route, but like with more optimized SRM setups. Dude, I'm sad that community just kind of banished SRM, because dude, SRM Hundo was looking like it was gonna be so sick, because SRM Hundo could finally do the angle warping stuff. They could use that with Song of Soaring to warp anywhere using any angle, and then they could also get Goron missile anywhere with light node. SRM Hundo looked like it was gonna be so good, and then it just kind of went nowhere. I hope that people eventually look into it again. They do have an SRM category, but they put it in like miscellaneous now. Let me look at the leaderboard. Let me see what they did with it. Wait, what? Did they just take it away completely? What the heck? No, dude. Did they actually just completely remove SRM runs from the leaderboard? No way, dude. Okay, well, there's any percent unrestricted at least. Oh, okay. They have no pointer manip. What? Did they take away all dungeons? All dungeons SRM? Dude. Okay, so they have two categories that use SRM. It's any percent unrestricted and 100% no pointer manip. But then there's no all dungeons SRM. There's no all masks SRM. What happened, dude? Dude, see, this is why I don't like completely getting rid of these categories, because now it's under why is it under extensions? At least have it like, didn't at one point they had just like an SRM category on the leaderboard, like they just had SRM and it was like any percent SRM or all dungeons SRM, Hundo SRM. That was fine. I didn't really agree with it, but it was good enough. Man, how much has that changed since I last ran this? Almost not at all, and I'm hoping to change that. Basically, the only real change has been Forest bow early, and I think it's a little bit ridiculous that that's the only thing that's changed in like 2.5 years, so I'm gonna try my best to make sure that changes. No, it's not jungle jump, it is Forest Temple hookshot jump for bow early. I'm thinking what my plan is probably gonna be like Hundo no SRM, then maybe Master Quest, and then maybe Hundo SRM. But that's thinking very far ahead. But I definitely want to do Master Quest again, as in Dungeon Dice Monsters. I was thinking 100%, but probably DDM too. I guess more specifically, I want to do Hundo, but then if I do Hundo, then like I might as well add in DDM, since it wouldn't take a whole lot of extra time to do. I do Hundo for, you know, a month or two, and then I can probably squeeze in like 2 weeks for DDM. Thought Dungeon Dice Monsters was invented by the OoT community. Yeah, it was just a silly joke. Yeah, it's all dungeons and dungeon skulltulas for Master Quest. No, I have never thrown a run for the purposes of winning illicit gambling money. No, I would not. I mean, not unless it was some big money. Most popular OT speedrun category right now. I don't actually know. What's popping off right now? GSR? I assume GSR probably because of Skulltula clip stuff. Or if not now, it probably will. Is 90% dead now? It depends on what you mean by dead. A lot of people try 90% just for the sake of doing it because it's so low commitment and just for the sake of saying, oh, haha, I beat the game in, you know, single digit minutes. But for people that actively run it, basically no one. I want to do the Epona thing. This does work as child, right? I assume it should work as child. There's a glitch with Epona where if Link is about to be moved by Epona's head hitbox, yeah, there. If Link's about to be moved by Epona's head hitbox, then and you keep pausing and unpausing, it adds the push every single frame, or it adds like 2 frames of push for every pause, and so you can get super big pushes from Epona, and you can like jump halfway across a map by using Epona's head. Like if I do this, yeah, using Epona, it's a glitch specifically with Epona's head hitbox. Like if I did this right, then when I unpause here, it has to be the right frame, and it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, this should be it. Why did I start to have frenzy behind this list? I actually forgot. It's something I added back in like 2012 or 2013. It's literally been something I've almost always had. Yeah, like that. Yeah, the frenzy behind this list has just been a thing on my stream for literally ever. Yeah, Joe, I always love that you have it in the highlight videos too. I love that it's just become like a part of my stream for no reason. Nice. Accidental action swap. I would get the Panda controller if they didn't cancel it. But yes, I was interested in it. Why was it canceled? They said it was canceled for production reasons. Like, it'll take longer for production to get it done than they thought because of COVID stuff. Yeah, they said they just didn't want to keep the, like, hold on to the money while there were delays. Wind Waker HD is 9 this year. Are you serious? How does time move like that? Dude, in, what is it, 2 years, OOT 3D will be older than OOT was when OOT 3D was released. You don't need that info. You're old. Sorry. OOT is 24. Dude, it feels like just yesterday OOT was turning 20. I keep referring to OOT as a 20-year-old game, and soon it'll have to be a 25-year-old game. Bunch of geezers, yeah. Or just a bunch of old people. What do I think they'll do for its half bicentennial? Well, I think clearly for OOT's 25th anniversary, Nintendo's going to have a huge event where they completely remaster OOT, make it HD, and it'll be amazing and everything, and no, they're not going to do anything. The flying skulltula glitch? You mean the one just recently found? I guess I can show it off real quick. So there's a funky little glitch found with these skulltulas recently. So I'm just going to pause a little bit every now and then. And if you look closely, the skulltula is moving a little bit up every time. You can see now the skulltula is like pretty clearly a lot higher than it usually is. So there's a glitch with the skulltulas where, okay, I just reset it, but it has this pattern of like bobbing up and down. And when you pause, so like as it bobs up and down, it changes its velocity up and down, right? But when you pause, it actually desyncs the velocity change with the height change. So like its velocity goes up and down, but if you pause when it's at its peak and then unpause, then the velocity stays upwards and it continues to rise for a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of like SM64's Scuttlebug Rising. But yeah, basically you just pause when it's at the peak of its bob and it'll continue to go up. And so you can use that to force the skulltula to raise higher than usual. OT does not have parallel universes. If you go more than 32,768 units in any direction, you just keep going. Well, actually on N64 the game just crashes, which is actually the same in Mario 64, so in that regard it's kind of the same, but there's no... You aren't going to stand on anything out of the world like that. Yeah, it does some really weird stuff when you get past the 32-bit limit, like squishing Link. Yeah, you can use that strat to get through the Skulltula. The actual reason it was found is because it's a way to get under the Skulltula without hitting it. If you don't hit the Skulltula or stun it or anything, there's just no way to get past it. But with this, you're actually able to move it high enough that you can roll under it. But yeah, now I can freely roll under it. Alright, back to this. What am I practicing today? The run. Why did I do Sun Song? Because I'm supposed to do Sun Song right before this Scarecrow. Huh? Hello? What happened? Why was he not accepting my notes? Sun shouldn't block this. This is done in the run before. Melee players be like. I want to try to GIM somehow. With cheats. I'm just cheating. Don't worry. I'm not doing some kind of crazy glitch. Huh. That's not what I expected. OTS trust issues now, yeah. If I were to dedicate a decade to a different game, what would it be? I'm not really sure if there's any other game that I could really dedicate this long of a time to. Like, my first thought would be MM, but then, like, MM first cycle. The reason that I could stick with OoT for so long is because there's so much variety. And there's few games that can match the variety of OoT in terms of, you know, glitches in different categories and stuff. MM is the first thought, but then, like, it doesn't quite have the category variety, and first cycle bad. If I were to think of, like, my next favorite game, it'd be Metroid Prime. But kind of similarly, Metroid Prime does have like a very high skill ceiling, so you could spend a very long time to get good, but then like, I don't know, it doesn't quite have the right variety I'm looking for, I think. So I really don't know if I could spend the same amount of time on any other game. TP, no, TP definitely doesn't have the variety. As much as I love TP. Never did BDSP. Yeah, I kept putting off learning BDSP 80%, and I never ended up doing it. I mean, I could still do it because I still haven't patched up. And if I ever do patch up, I have 1.1 on my second Switch, which I will never patch. Like, one I'll patch eventually when Darkrai comes out or whatever, and GTS comes out. But then on my other Switch, I'll never patch it. Shaman took 6,166 encounters until the shiny. Yeah, it was offline. It's not just because it was after you stopped watching, it's because it was after I stopped streaming. I stopped streaming, and then like an hour or two later, I was just like, I'll do a little bit more offline. And then I think like 60 or so attempts offline, I got it. So it was essentially like right as I went offline. Suddenly I go offline, and then I magically get the shiny. Suspicious. Shiny reaction would have been great content. I don't know about that. Have you seen my reactions? Cool. If you want to see an actual shiny reaction, I've had one shiny actual reaction on stream, which was I found a shiny Chansey in the Isle of Armor DLC. It was literally my first encounter of the DLC, and I got a shiny Chansey on stream. If you want to see how I actually react to a shiny, that's pretty much the only thing you'll get. And it's I think it was just like, oh my god, and that's it. Okay, yeah, my Switch OoT Online reactions were fantastic. I even rewatched my own reactions, and I'm like, oh my god, dang. The most despair you've heard from me was Switch OoT. I know, dude, I actually had my hopes up. I thought it seemed like their emulation was good again. It seemed like they did a nice job with NES and SNES. I was like, yeah, maybe they finally did it, and finally, you know, figured out how to emulate their own games. Yeah, I'm honestly more upset about Switch OT being bad as a casual experience than it is for speedruns. Because, like, if it's bad for speedruns, fine, I just play on Wii again. But it being bad as a casual experience, like, there are people that are going to play the game on Switch OT not knowing the poor quality of the game, and then they're going to like it less because... And they're going to like it less than they would have if they played a good version. And they're not going to know that the game is actually better than what they're playing. That's the worst part about it. Never look forward to anything so you can't be disappointed. I mean, I'm like that too for many things, but then I'm still disappointed by things such as Pokemon. But the only things I really get excited for are like Metroid and Zelda games, basically. And even Zelda games recently, I've been like not excited until like a week or two before release. Like even Breath of the Wild, I remember like kind of not caring until a week or two before release and like, oh yeah, wait, actually I'm kind of excited for this. And I'll probably be like that for Breath of the Wild 2 also, because I also haven't been like super paying a lot of attention to Breath of the Wild 2 stuff. Very excited for Death. Word. I will never understand people not liking weapon durability. It's like, what, you want to use the same weapon the whole game? I like using a variety of weapons, and I like that you change it up frequently. I don't know, I think people complaining about weapon durability didn't attempt to make use of enough unique weapons. Yeah, I think repairing weapons could have been good. I will agree with that. But like the concept of weapon durability I think is necessary for Breath of the Wild. Man, do I love hearing about this topic. I know, hasn't it been so exciting talking about this topic for 4 years straight? Coming up on 5. By the way, did anyone else think that Breath of the Wild had bad dungeons? Am I the only one that thinks this? Did anyone else not like the dungeons in Breath of the Wild? Thank you for 10 months, Smug Dampe. Watching my Glitch exhibition from 2014. Nice. That's a good one. Have you seen the updated one though? I made a new one this year, or last year. Haha, because last year, 5 days ago. Haha, funny joke. If I didn't say that, then you guys would have said it. Don't act like you weren't ready to type. But streamer, that was last year. Do I have a favorite Zelda game? I sure do. Would you like to take a wild guess at what it is? Man, you guys are all getting it wrong. I'm giving you such a strong hint right now. And yet everyone's wrong. Are you guys all dumb? Why are you guys so dumb? Is it true the Switch version is the best version? It's the best version if you hate your life and you want to make yourself miserable. Which I guess is not an insignificant portion of the population of people interested in playing Ocarina of Time. Yeah, the highlight videos are, they're all done by Dry, so it's just kind of whenever Dry uploads them. I forgot a Skulltula. What did I forget? Man. Okay, I have to go look around. Yeah, 13. 14 is that one. Did I miss one in Ice Cavern? Okay, entered Ice Cavern with 14. I really forgot one in Ice Cavern. This is not one that I expected to miss. Well, that's interesting. Alright, well, it's at least not like some kind of major route issue. I'm just gonna cheat it in. Literally, how does that happen? How did I forget that one? I must have been just like too... You know what I think it was? I was experimenting with lunge storage. And then I was like testing lunge storage versus the Hess. And then I like got distracted about the fact that I need to get the Skulltula too. No, lunge storage doesn't seem worth it compared to the Hess. Yeah, so basically what lunge storage is, like the actual way you do it, is you get on the edge of a ledge and then you try to do a forward thrust, like this attack on the edge of a ledge, and you like fall back on it. And then when you do a jump slash, you'll move a little bit extra forward because it stores that like lunge that you're supposed to do like this. So you see like when I land, it gets moved a little bit forward. So what you can do with that for dot skip is, let me see if I remember the setup for this properly. Yeah, and then you can lunge storage past door time, which means there's now a no out of bounds method for door of time skip, which is obviously so important. It's also technically faster, like for a task, not realistically faster. And there's a few other uses for it too. You can get it. You can use it to get past the Kakariko Gate. You can use it for an ice cavern to get past some of the red ice. Yeah, there is no risk of voiding at least. When's it getting put into glitchless unrestricted? Don't even start. It is pretty cool though. Yeah, so I got to Adult 2, so I think I'll stop here for now. And then continue on this tomorrow. I think I want to start hopefully thinking about text transfer glitch and seeing if that can be implemented somewhere.